In here, if you look at the first point, Dave says competitor analysis is basically structured analysis compared to online services, performance, and so on of an organization with competitors in the areas to to acquire customers, to convert them, to retain them, and to grow them. So these four avenues or these four areas are very can be related to this particular framework in a way. So let's look at the race framework and quickly go through this, because I believe most of you already know what the race framework is. So for those of you who are not familiar, the race framework usually stands for reach, act, convert, and engage. So it's a framework that helps to review the performance across the omnichannel marketing funnel, and it's a great template that facilitates the approach to benchmarking that helps to track and adapt your marketing at the key points in your customers' life cycles. So in other words, or in simple terms, it helps us to understand the customer's journey. Okay, so going back to what RACE stands for: reach, act, convert, and engage. So before doing all of these guys, we need to plan. So because the competition out there is very fierce, especially online. So in order for us to win, we need to plan, we have to manage and optimize our digital channels against defined targets. So we have to use smart KPIs and focus investment in content marketing, digital media and experiences. So planning is key before we start anything. So once we plan, let's go to the, it comes to reach. So reaching your customers. So in a buyer stage, this is called customers exploration stage. Here is where, as marketers, we can do the publishing and promoting of our content. So to make customers aware that we exist. So that in order to make our customers interested in us. During this stage, there are key measures or key KPIs that we can look into. Like if it's like a website, we can look at unique visitors. We can look at fans and followers. We can look at value per visit. So and so on. So second phase, or more like act. So act in the sense of a buyer stage means the decision making process. They are basically wondering, okay, should I go with this or should I find another competitor or somebody else? So in this stage, as marketers or for a brand, what we would say is always try to be worth finding via the clear customer journeys and the content hub and content through content that is relevant, inspirational, useful, and that can generate quality reviews. So here we can look into key KPIs like in this stage during the stage where the buyer acts, we can look into key measures such as leads, lead conversion rates, the time that they have spent on the sites, the shares, the comments, the likes they have used to engage with us. So those are part of the process of act. So the next phase in our life cycle is the convert phase. So this is where the buyer stage, this is where they make an informed decision and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead with this and make a purchase. So here we have to capitalize on marketing investment using conversion rate optimization, maybe marketing automation, and remarketing to ensure contextual relevance drives the conversation, the conversion. And over here in the convert stage, where we can look into key KPIs like key measures like sales, revenues, profit, average order value, and so on. And then we come to engage. So engage in the buyer stage is now once the customer is converted, we have to make sure that we retain the customer, and while we also grow and find new customers, we have to make sure that we retain the customers that we already have. So this is where in the buyer stage that it's called advocacy. So here always if the customer is thrilled with the services that we provide or the products that we offer, the customer is bound to be an advocate. advocate, and through word of mouth, or any other means, the customer will be act as an advocate to our brand and ensure that the word is spread, and eventually it will tend to bring in new customers into the funnel. So here, thrilled customers are key, as I said before, to show social media marketing. So this ensures that there are repeat sales, there are referrals, and so on. So here we can look into key measures like, of course, repeat purchases, the satisfaction and the loyalty which makes them to return and make more and more purchases with us. And of course the advocacy, where they will go and recommend us to another person so that they will also consider buying from us. So here, competitive benchmarking to inform your marketing strategies. So the mind map diagram over here shows how the many different types of benchmarking activities that can be helpful for informing the marketing strategy, plus where they sit within the race framework. So let's look at that. So if you look into the plan stage, you are looking at competitor sizes, the Google Agency toolkits, then basically doing the market research, or understanding your market, identifying your competitors, and doing your research. Then comes the reach stage. So under reach, we are looking at mainly search marketing, social media marketing, and display advertising. So I will not go into examples of each of those. I'm pretty sure most of you all already know these. Then comes the act stage, where we look into website engagement and site experience feedback, like website engagement in the sense, as you all know, heat mapping tools, compiling bounce rates, and then gathering site experience feedback through customer feedback tools. Then comes, of course, the conversion, where we measure the conversion rates, the e-commerce conversion rates, the competitor price analysis, and so on. So understanding here, having an understanding of your competitor prices will help us to improve or get inspiration or improve our strategies as well. Sometimes we take, if we think that the marketing, our competitor is doing something good and it's inspirational, maybe we can adapt something from it. Or if we don't agree with it, maybe we can use that as an example. So for example, if they do something and if the competitor does something and if it turns out to not fly with the customers, that's a learning. That can be a learning for even us. Maybe we can reevaluate and see whether we want to do it our way, or overall not take a risk but do something else, do something different all along. So going back to mind map, the last stage, the engaging stage, we are looking into email marketing, customer experience feedback, and social media marketing. So email marketing, social media marketing is basically to remarket, to make sure that they are retained and they are coming back to us over and over again. And of course, for us to get good feedback, so that they will be an advocate to us, and through their positive recommendations, we can get in more new customers or prospective customers into our businesses. So this is again pretty much another example of competitive benchmarking across the RACE framework. I will not go into detail. It's pretty much talks about the avenues of paid media, owned media, earned media, and experience. I will straight away go into the last slide. So why a guide to competitive benchmarking? So why is it important? So whether it's a sport or a business, you have to understand that you have to understand that you need to know where you need to improve, and you have to understand the position that you are currently in when you compare yourself with competitors. Whether you are way ahead of them, then what can you do to make sure that you stay in that and maybe go beyond. And if you are behind your competitors, what can you do? What things better that you can do? What kind of inspiration that you can take, as I mentioned earlier, to do better? So basically, it can act as a baseline to understand. Basically, competitor analysis can act as a baseline to understand your position, to see whether you're above or beyond, and plan your plans ahead for the business. So online potential customers will often, directly they tend to compare a particular brand with a couple of competitors, like with recent online interactivity and increase in online engagement. This has been more prominent. This has been like a more common thing. So potential online customers will often try to compare a particular brand and what it has to offer along with its competitors. So benchmarking puts you in the customer's shoes and gives the particular insights of where you need to improve. Like I said, it can give you the inspiration to try new things, and whether they are new things, and understand whether they are, even though they are new ideas, whether they can be related to us in terms of content, design, or brand communications overall. And finally, benchmarking is vital when you're refreshing, for example, like when you're refreshing a website through a major redesign. But it can also be useful to review more regularly and see how competitors are making changes in their overall brand. And it's an essential part of developing a digital marketing strategy to grow our own reach and understand. It gives you an idea of whether you need to look beyond. Whether you need to, for example, look beyond the site, or or what you're currently looking at, or do something more in the aspects of online communication to make all our marketing comms effective to the customers from from the beginning of our race funnel. So I hope that concludes my presentation. I hope it was a good refresher for all of y'all.